Hello, everybody. I'm Kara Bunde-Dunn, the CEO of Karmic Leader. And today I want to be a little vulnerable with you. I want to tell my story of how I became a spiritual medium. I am just an everyday average person, just like you, climbing the corporate ladder, being a mom and a wife, and given to my community and just trying to show up well in the world. And really, a lot started changing for me in this one defining moment. You've probably had one of these too. I was traveling for my job and I was flying back home from California to Nebraska, where I live, and I had to hub through the Denver International Airport. My connection was really tight, and I knew that there was a chance I may not make my flight. So of course I did everything I could, running through that B gate, trying to get all the way through to from one end of B to the next end of B, and I didn't make it. I missed my connection, and I had a little kiddo at home. She was probably 2 or 3 at the time, and I had promised her that I would tuck her into bed. And I collapsed to the floor of that airport. I fell on my knees, and I just thought, why me? Why? And I just felt terrible. I was so sad. I was depressed. I was frustrated. I knew I was breaking my promise to my kiddo, and I wasn't able to tuck her in at night. And I thought that I could. So, lesson to all you traveling parents: do not promise something that you cannot deliver. But in that moment, on the floor of the Denver airport in the B gate, I just started feeling like something has to change. Something has to give. And the pace at life in which I'm living is not sustainable. I'm tired, I'm burnt out, I'm exhausted, and I don't know if I can keep going. I didn't want to quit my job, but I knew something had to change. And in that process, I started on this long journey of really finding myself, finding what brought me joy, finding what made me happy. And throughout that process, slowly but surely, I started building some tools and feeling better about myself. And then another bomb dropped. Our amazing daughter is an IVF baby. She is a modern miracle, as I like to say. And she started out as twins. So we had 2, and we lost one along the way. And I think about that baby all the time. I think about when I see twins, I think about what it would have been like to have twins. And it was just a tough time for us, to be incredibly grateful for the kiddo we had and the kiddo I had growing inside of me, but then also kind of sad for the loss of that other baby, and juggling both emotions at the same time was just tough, was really hard. And we thought we could never get pregnant on our own. And then lo and behold, I am, living the corporate life, and I found out I was pregnant. My husband and I were elated. We could not believe it. We called our family. I went to see a specialist. We did everything that we could, and all was well. I was right at my end of my first trimester. I told my teams. I started talking about it. And of course, the very next day, I started to miscarry, and we lost that baby. And I was wrecked. I didn't know up from down, left from right, and I was in a funk. An absolute funk. The couple years of tools that I had learned on my own were not cutting it. And a friend of mine said, go see this lady, Rebecca Rosen. She's a spiritual medium, and maybe she can help you. And I thought, 1, I don't even know if I believe in spiritual mediums. Like, can people really talk to dead people? That seems crazy to me. And 2, I don't think I'm in a place where I'm even open to considering it. But after a lot of heartache and trying to decide what the right thing was to do, I booked an appointment with her. She lives in Colorado. She was going to be in the Omaha area, and I booked a small group reading. And my grandpa, my dad's dad, who was kind of a German, stubborn cat, came through and gave me a lot of reassurance and a lot of help, and just was there for me and gave me guidance and hope in a way that I hadn't been able to figure out on my own. And it was a truly life-changing experience for me. And so I proceeded to go see Rebecca Rosen, once or twice a year, whenever I felt like I was having a bit of an off time and I just needed a little help or nudge from the other side. And at one point in November of 2020, I had a reading with Rebecca, and she said, Kara, I am supposed to tell you that you can do this yourself. You can do this too. And I thought, there's no way, no way, no way can I talk to dead people. No way. So at first I was pretty hesitant, but I had read all of her books. I was a steward of learning about spiritual mediumship and this idea of connecting to our loved ones and guides and guardian angels. And I said, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to just see what happens. So I did everything that she told me to do. I started listening to high frequency music. I quieted my mind and opened my heart. I asked for white protective light around me. I asked for my guardian angels and my grandpa to show up and be there for me. And I just let my guard down and said, I'm open to connecting in this way and seeing what happens. And it took a while. And I did that, and I did that, and I did that. And then one day on November 20th of 2020, I was able to connect to my guides on the other side. It was a wild experience. And it started with a bunch of scribbles. And what I did was I had a journal and I had a pen in my hand, and I just quieted my mind, opened my heart, and saw what came through. And I had my eyes shut and my pen started moving. Totally freaked me out. And I was like, oh my God, my pen is moving. I'm not moving it. It was old cursive, old school cursive. And it started saying, happy birthday, mom, like some weird stuff. And I was like, this is so weird. What is going on? And then it said, my name is Edwin, which is my grandpa. And my grandpa came through and just told me that I'm surrounded by white protective light and that my house is full of light and that he's here and that his mother, Marie, is here and that they're just here to connect with me. And that started the process of me being able to connect with deceased loved ones. And then about a month later, I got my very first assignment. I was asked to give a message to a dear friend. So I was used to writing through my guides, that we call it automatic writing or intuitive writing, where I just open my mind and they take over the writing of the pen and things come out. Other people might call it a download, all of these different ways that we're kind of getting guidance from the other side. So this time, this lady swooped in and said, Kara, this is Kathy, and I need you to get a message to my daughter. And I need you to tell her to go to the Lake of the Ozarks. Okay, that's it. Bye. And then I could feel the energy in the room shift, and I could feel her shift away from me, and then felt the normal kind of glittery, angelic energy that I felt around me when my guides were present. And I thought, what in the heck do I do with this? I had no idea what to do. So I asked them, I was like, okay, demon spirit, which is what I call them. I say that's my deceased loved ones, angels, guardian angels, my demon spirit is what I like to call them. So what do you want me to do with this? And they said, just call your friend and tell her you had a dream. So that's exactly what I did. I called my friend and I said, hey there, I had a dream about your mom. And she told me to tell you to go to the Lake of the Ozarks. And my friend started to cry. And she said, Kara, I don't know how you knew or how my mom came to you, but I was talking to my cousin last night, and she lives in Texas and I live in Minnesota, and we were wanting to meet, but it was COVID. Remember, it's 2020, the end of 2020, before vaccines even. And she said, we didn't think it was safe. So I just prayed and I said to my mom, hey mom, if you're up there, I need a sign. You got to tell me, like, what do I do? What should I go? Should I not go? Is it safe? Like, what do I do? And she goes, you're my sign. You are my sign. My mom came to you and she wanted me to go to the Lake of the Ozarks. And so that was the first time that I was asked to do something with this amazing gift that I've been given. And it's been almost 3 years now. And I have since done readings for people all over the world, business leaders, people trying to make big changes in their life, people going through significant times of pain and suffering, people that are just everyday people like you and me, just trying to get a little help and guidance from the other side. And I feel like it is such a privilege and a blessing to be of service in this way. And again, I just was an everyday person just like you. I was working in corporate America. I was the head of sales of an ed tech company. I, was a mom. I was a wife. I was an active member of my community. I was just a normal, everyday person. Um, and this happened to me, and I received this incredible gift. And what my guides tell me is that you can get this intuitive guidance too. So if you are ready to open your heart to this idea of getting guidance from the other side, I recommend that you meditate, that you put high hertz frequency music. You can just go on Google or Spotify or Apple Music or wherever you find music and just do high hertz meditative music, Tibetan bowl music, things like that that bring the energy and frequency up in your room. Give it a try. Quiet your mind, open your heart, listen to high frequency music, and be open. Say, I am open to getting guidance on the other side, and see what comes forward. And do that over and over and over again. And you might find yourself having this kind of magical connection too. So I hope that you made it to the end of this video and that you are open to getting guidance from your guardian angels and getting some love and light from the other side. I send you the brightest blessings and lots of love and light from me to you. And I thank you for listening to my story and for being here to learn and to grow with me. I wish you all the very, very best. And I hope that you grow in your journey too. Bye, everybody.